Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight I will be unboxing Canopy, the deluxe edition from Weird City Games. And this is one I've been waiting for a very long time. I am very, very keen to get this open. I know I've talked at length on the channel that Return to Dark Tower is the game that sort of opened the floodgates a bit, but I think looking back, that's possibly a bit disingenuous. It's certainly the first game that introduced me to what modern board games are and can be, and definitely got me intrigued in the hobby. But I think I've always kind of looked back and thought, well, I backed Return to Dark Tower and then just started backing things straight after. But looking at it's actually not the case. I backed Return to Dark Tower and then I didn't back anything else for 2-3 months. I didn't have any interest. I wasn't scrolling through Kickstarter or anything. Until a few months later, this started popping up in my Facebook feed, and the artwork was and hopefully is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the theme. I love the whole sort of balancing of nature aspect. And I watched my first ever YouTube gaming video related to Kickstarter, which was Quackalope's gameplay of this, and backed it. Yeah, I mean, the price point was ridiculously cheap. I think it was about £25-30. And that was when the floodgates really opened and I started backing a lot of games. So I can't wait to open this. I don't know if you may notice I am experimenting with a different setup. Instead of going with my old broken phone, I thought I might try my laptop with the webcam after doing the Zoom with Chris, because I think the picture is hopefully a bit better. And then I've got my new phone, which will hopefully do a bit close-ups while I've still got Stacey's phone doing an overall top-down. And I'm hoping just having a few extra angles might help with the quality of the footage and being able to be a bit dynamic with the angles. But let's go on to Canopy. And first off, I am so happy to see a board game come wrapped in brown paper. Obviously, it's far better for the environment than the sheer amount of plastic we get, and not just in terms of the minis, but in terms of all the wrapping and everything that goes around the games we love. Anything that makes a stride to improve the carbon footprint and the impact on the planet is a big win for me. And okay, wow, we can see from the back of the box art there, the artwork really is stunning. And yeah, you've got the beautiful front cover there, and then we've got the back cover artwork. And let's dive in. Okay, so sunlight glistens on a small pool of water nestled inside the bright red leaves of a bromelia. A poison dart frog leaps from the water and hops along the narrow branches of the tree. The hot Amazonian sun shines down fiercely on the tallest trees, but almost none of that light reaches past the canopy formed by the intertwining leaves. A deep guttural call of a howler monkey pierces the air, and magnificently bright toucans flap forth from the foliage. The air buzzes with the fullness of life and activity. Here everything is alive, pushing, striving, growing towards the sun. That's again a lovely little introduction there, a bit of flavor text, and then we've got the rule book, which is really nice. I haven't actually seen a fully opening out rule book yet. This is a first for me, and it's very clearly laid out. There's not too much text, and yeah, in essence, basically it's the Amazon rainforest, and you've got to balance that rainforest. We've also got the additional rules for, we've got the glossary and then advanced card variants, and there's the rules for 3 or 4 player, and as well as solo. I forgot there was a solo in this, to be honest, so looking forward to giving that a try. Don't know if and when I'll ever try 3 or 4 players, because we still haven't actually had a proper 3-player game. And then we've got some bits in envelopes. Let's see. So again, everything is paper based, which is really nice. So we've got cards that indicate new growth, which I'm assuming is when you're going to have trees and plants growing. For example, fire, I know, can activate seeds to trigger growing. Got the player reference cards as well as the solo reference. I think that is an empty envelope, so it may just be for storage. We've got these very attractive little tokens like a golden lion tamarin, sloth, toucan obviously, and a beautiful emerald snake. Can't name them all sadly. And then I'm guessing these are point tokens, or maybe these are just to label the players. Who knows? Some nice poison dart frog and a butterfly on that one. We've got the first player marker, or I believe that's what this is. And you know, that is, I'm not usually a big fan of first player markers, but that does add a decent little presence on the table. Again, I don't know if these are specific player boards, but new growths for each season. A little postcard with the art, the absolutely beautiful artwork. And we have, without doubt, the most attractive draw bag I've had so far. I mean, again, featuring the gorgeous artwork off the box. I've had a few draw bags recently, and I do love a blind draw mechanic. But, oh, wow. Okay. So these are the wooden meeples. Again, of the animals we saw earlier. So these are just stunning. Got the butterfly. Try and get some decent close-ups. I'm guessing that's the snake with its coiled body and the head coming out. And they're proper wood, so they feel really, really good. Guessing that's the sloth. Really nice quality. And then we've got these cards, which is obviously the bulk of the game. It's a card game where, as I said, you're trying to create the most balanced environment. Also, if agrophobics may not want to look at the Goliath bird eater, pygmy marmosets, and the artwork is just absolutely gorgeous. It really is living up to all the hopes and expectations I had going into this. And then you've got problems that you've got blight, you've got lightning, and then you've got your plants. And as you can sort of see, you get points depending on how many plants you have. But you then, if you have too many of a certain plant or too many of a certain animal, you will start to lose points, because it's not just about having as many as you can possibly get. It's about creating balance. And that is the crucial aspect, obviously, of nature. And I really, really love the thematic aspect that they brought to the game with that. And then these are sort of objectives for each season. So I guess you'll see a certain amount of these each time that change up the gameplay. So you might score a point for each unique plant card, or when you gain the second card of a wildlife pair, draw 2 more cards. Discard a trunk card from each incomplete tree. So there's quite a few of those there. They're going to mix things up, which is always a plus. And then we've got a couple more bundles of cards here. And again, I think this is probably up there. I think Dice Splice maybe overtook it in terms of the cheapest game that I've backed so far from a monetary standpoint, but man, is it absolutely gorgeous and justifies every single penny. So these are your tree cards. So these are the top. So you get points depending on how big a tree you can build or grow, more accurately. So you get these roots and trunks that you have to place over each other. I love the fact that every note they all have a slightly different artwork on them. So they might have an animal on there, but you build up these trunks and then you top them with the canopies. And again, score points depending on how big a tree you can actually grow, which is another fun little mechanic alongside the actual set collection of the animals and the plants. And then in this last bundle, we've got some seeds. So yeah, plants that require bushfires for germination are called pyrophiles. So an interesting, I like the fact that I hadn't actually noticed in the first 2 bits, but they have flavor text on the bottom of the cards. So rainforests react to and impact local climate. Thus, dry conditions can exacerbate ecological issues. The leafcutter ants, emerald tree boa, kinkajou. Again, just lots and lots of absolutely beautiful artwork. They've done a tremendous job with this. All the different flora and fauna. And again, it's just a theme and an art style that I absolutely adore. It's not the type of game I would typically back on Kickstarter. You see an awful lot of these cheaper card games and I tend to just scroll past them, but something with artwork of this quality is always going to be a winner for me. It looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I'm a huge fan of everything about this game. I just need to see now how it plays when it hits the table, and that is something that I cannot wait to do. But that is everything from Canopy, the deluxe edition. And again, as I said, hope to get it to the table as soon as I can. I've got another unboxing coming this week, which is another new Kickstarter arrival, and that is the deluxe edition of Streets. So I hope you join me again for that one later in the week. But that's it for today. So thank you very much for watching. Look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye now.